There are some interesting choices. Maybe I asked, do we do a Road to Glory in the Williams? I have put a lot of thought into this, and, well, the team we're going to be driving for is...
Oh, hey, you're here. I'll catch up with you. Sorry, I'm just on my way out, but your workstation's at the back over there. It should be all set up on the network, but let the guys know if it isn't. From there, you can access all the data you need to help us direct development of the car. Get yourself settled, and then head out to practice when you're ready. I'll catch up with you later, okay?
Welcome to your new team. Renault are a championship-winning outfit, and they've been methodically working to get back to those winning ways. Raw talent isn't enough here. This is a team that values someone who can dedicate themselves completely to achieving their goals.
What's up, boys and girls? Welcome to episode 2 of F1 2019 Career Mode, and as you can see, we have signed with none other than Renault F1 alongside our fellow Aussie, Danny Rick. I wanted to do this for a while now, and I decided, you know what, let's just do it. Kind of a midfield team, not a backmarker like Williams, but not a super strong team like Mercedes, so be interesting to see how this first race weekend goes, but without further ado, let's get into practice.
Welcome to Melbourne and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson, and it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start? Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Well, they've been signed up likely in no small part due to the way they carried themselves in the Formula 2 Championship. They have a great track record of putting the team first. At one of the races, they even gave up their own position when their car had a technical issue, so that their teammate Lucas Weber, who also debuts here today, could get ahead. That kind of team spirit could take them a long way this season.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, two very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was a nasty clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races, as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
Alright, so here we are in the garage, sitting in our beautiful little banana car. It's a weird description, but anyway, we will stick with it nonetheless. Just going to stick with the default setup for the moment, so without further ado, let's fire this baby up and get out onto the racetrack.
Okay, the track is green right now, so take a few laps to get the tyres up to temperature. Try and feel your way around.
Alright, tyre blankets coming off, hands on the wheel. Probably a good idea, isn't it, when you're driving along at over 200 kilometres an hour in a Formula 1 car? Probably look a bit stupid if you're driving along with no hands, but anyway. This first race weekend is probably just going to be me mainly getting used to the strengths and weaknesses of this Renault, just seeing where our strong points are and where we mainly need improvement. Expectations are probably a top 10. The expectations from the team are actually 8th position in qualifying and the race, so it'll be interesting to see if we can live up to those expectations. But anyway, Renault obviously feel like the car is more than capable of that, so we shall see. But anyway, just filing out through the practice programs now. Track acclimatisation, fairly stock standard. I don't really need to explain to you guys, how all this works. You guys know. But
Now
Anyway, purple score on the track acclimatisation, almost a perfect purple score, but we missed one gate. But anyway, purple score on the tyre wear. We go through all of the practice programs on medium tyres here in the first part, or first practice I should say, apart from qualifying pace and the race strategy. I'm saving those for FP2. Track's rub it in a little bit more, and I don't know, I feel like that's just more of an ideal time to do it. But anyway, as we come now to the fuel saving practice program, I actually found this one pretty easy. The Delta was easy as to beat, and it wasn't really too hard to save fuel. ERS was the same deal, quite easy to harvest around the lap, so purple score. And I thought I'd include this. This was actually on the way back to the garage, and I completely forgot where the brake marker was. Dropped a left rear in the gravel, or in the grass rather, and yeah, spat myself off into the gravel, so that was really clever. But anyway, the end of practice one, we're at the bottom of the leaderboard, but we've still got plenty of pace to unlock.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula One. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, pretty happy. Looking forward to the challenges, so yeah.
So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in?
Yeah, me and Daniel have had a couple of shrimp on the barbie and a couple of cans laid back, and yep, we're all good.
What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula One, or do you see something more?
Top 10 probably in the Drivers' Championship, to be honest.
Appreciate your time.
Alright, so here we are now in free practice 2 on the medium tyres doing the race strategy program. Surprisingly, didn't find this one too hard either. Managed to pass the practice programs basically in standard fuel mix and standard mode on the ERS as well. But now coming to the qualifying pace, and the green target lap wasn't too difficult. I was able to beat that fairly easily, but as we will come across the line shortly, and as you'll see, the purple lap time, or the Delta, was just absolutely unbelievable. Like, I don't know how I was supposed to get that, but anyway, as you can see, come up to the line, it's a 123.8, puts us P2, and all in all, that is a pretty good lap. But as you can see, it's a 123.1, and yeah, I don't know where the hell we're supposed to find that pace, but anyway, pretty decent result at the end of second practice. So looks like we've got a reasonable bit of pace in this Renault, so things looking good so far. Daniel with a reasonable bit of speed, so yeah, things are looking promising, but obviously still very early days. We can't jump to conclusions. But yeah, a couple of messages, nothing to worry about, I'm sure. Upcoming sessions, weather forecast. I will give you guys a little hint, that weather forecast is lying. But anyway, let's go to qualifying.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Alright, so here we are coming to the end of our one and only lap in Q3. 123.3, pretty decent, puts us ahead of Daniel Ricciardo for the moment. Fast forward to the end of the session, Ricciardo improves, but we end up in position 12, so we make it safely through. Ricciardo up in P8, right behind Lucas Weber and Devon Butler, my old F2 rivals. Robert Kubica, slowest of the 20 drivers. That's becoming a bit of a common thing in real life, so yeah, a bit unfortunate for him, but anyway. We are now out in qualifying 2, brand new set of soft tyres, and I can't remember if I said earlier, but we have a moment on this newly on the resurfaced, reprofiled curb right here, and as you can see we're just a little too eager on track limits, and around we go, and that is front wing gone.
Front wing is damaged. Expect a lot of understeer unless we replace it.
Yeah, I reckon we'd have a lot of fucking understeer, quite frankly there, Jeffrey. Thanks for the absolutely useless advice, but anyway. So now we gotta come back to the pits, and at this point I'm actually thinking I might go on the mediums and just, you know, see what I can drag out. Could I maybe somehow sneak a Q3 spot? But as you can see, as we come out to start the medium lap, it's actually raining. Now, this is what I meant when I said the weather forecast was lying when we were back in the truck, because if you were to go back and pause the video, you would see that it was overcast, but there was not one little icon that suggested any rain for this whole weekend. And, well, let's face it, that's not dry, that's rain. So, yeah, pretty pissed off, to be honest, but, you know, I kind of shot myself in the foot as well. I should have checked the live timing feed and actually had a look. If I had known, I probably would have gone out on soft tyres, and maybe I might have been able to squeak a spot into the final part of qualifying. But anyway, as we come through to the end of Sector 1, already a second down, basically a 28-0 for the first sector, and that is just absolutely atrocious. 2.1 seconds now as we come into the second sector, and at this point I honestly probably should have actually just abandoned the lap, because I'm already basically guaranteed 15th place unless someone in front has a grid penalty for some stupid reason. But anyway, we're going to come through, we're going to finish the lap off. Maybe we could somehow sneak 13th or something, but come through the final corner now, open the DRS, overtake mode on the DRS, up to the line, and it is position 15. Fairly disappointing, but at the same time not really surprising. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that stupid mistake. A rookie mistake, you could say, but anyway. We will start P15 for the Australian Grand Prix. Disappointing, yes, but at the same time, we get free range of tyre, so I guess that's one good thing, but still, it would have been nice to make Q3 in our debut. But anyway, I suppose the good thing to take out of it is the car did seem to have a reasonable amount of pace on it, so things are looking good for the race, so we'll see what we can do from P15 on the grid. Hopefully we can pull out a top 10 result.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal. But there's no points for Saturday. Keep a cool head and make up for it in the race.
Gee, thanks for the pep talk there, Emma. But we will definitely try and make up for it in the race. Dry race, as you can see. So thankfully no rain. Hopefully we don't get dicked around this time and it does actually rain at the end. But anyway, power units, everything looking good. Everything's all good, no dramas anyway. So without further ado, let's go to the Australian Grand Prix.
Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, and Butler, Ricciardo, Weber, Perez, and Lance Stroll, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Lando Norris, and Sainz, Lee, Kvyat, Alexander Albon, and George Russell. Giovinazzi and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Alright, the reason there was no intro there for the race, just a quick explanation, is there was a glitch when I was actually doing this, and I thought it better just play it safer just to not include it. So yeah, it might not have affected the recording or anything in any way, but I thought I might as well just play it safe. But anyway, we're going to go for the one stop. Stock setup, as you can see, apart from the front wing. Just lowering that down to 5 just to counteract the oversteer a little bit. And yeah, P15 on the grid. Not really where you want to be on this game. The AI obviously are much more aggressive this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they fight and how they defend and just in general how they race. But yeah, anyway, off we go for the formation lap. As always, if you guys enjoy, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Stay tuned as always for plenty more career mode. League racing will be back shortly as well. Still just waiting on a couple of confirmed dates and a few other things as well for that, so I'll let you guys know any news whenever it becomes available. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we progress at the start of this race. Obviously you would think the soft compound tyres would definitely maybe have an edge over us from maybe, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 laps. I'm really just, you know, taking a fucking swing at that guess, like I don't know. This is all a learning curve, this first race, for how this is going to go. I don't know how any of this is going to work, but anyway, hopefully we can get a good clean launch, avoid any chaos, hopefully not get tangled up in any kind of mess, if there is one, and yeah, survive the first lap with no damage, and hopefully we'll be able to start picking our way through the field. So yeah, reforming back on the grid now. 2 McLarens right in front of us. The new boy Lando Norris and the Spaniard Carlos Sainz on our right. Danny Kvyat right behind us, so we're going to have to watch for him. But as we build up the 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, and away we go. Pretty decent start. 2 McLarens just get the better of us, but we're able to slot ahead of Kvyat, so we slot the inside, lunge up the inside of the 2 McLarens right behind Kimi Räikkönen. I believe we actually tapped the Alfa Romeo there. We might have. No damage, thankfully, just checking the heads up display momentarily. But we've passed the 2 McLarens. We're going to lunge up the inside of Kimi and Romain Grosjean in the Haas. Nice to see the AI do actually leave a bit of room there in turn 3 now, because they definitely didn't do that last year. But anyway, we are already up in the P11, so we're already nearly up in the points. 4 positions, basically in the span of 4 or 5 corners, so I'll position every corner. That's a pretty good start, if I do say so myself. But anyway, now up behind the Racing Point, Force India, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, up behind Lance Stroll here, we've got Grosjean right behind us as well, and with the Ferrari engine, that Haas is actually gaining on us a little bit. Fast forward now to lap 2, the Racing Point cars have just dropped us a little bit. Grosjean tries to go around our outside, we squeeze him right up against the wall a little bit. Bit of oversteer again on the exit, so still struggling with that just a little bit. But anyway, on to lap 4 now. Bit of side-by-side action through here. I believe that's Lucas Weber and what was Daniel Ricciardo going side-by-side. Sergio Perez tried to have a go at him. That didn't work. And we managed to pick off both Racing Point cars off Stroll and Perez in the same manoeuvre. We could have had a go at Lucas Weber, but honestly I didn't think it was worth it. I thought, you know, we'll let him try and stick into the DRS of Daniel. If he just closes back up onto the back of my teammate, he can drag me up to Ricciardo as well. So yeah, a bit of a waiting game here at the start, not trying to force the issue too much. I know I should have supreme pace compared to these guys the longer this first stint goes on, but are we going to potentially line up a move on Lucas Weber? We're looking, and indeed we are. We lunge it down the inside. We're fast forwarded on to lap 8, so we cut forward I think about 3-4 laps in the race. So we lunge up the inside of Weber, and that is up into, what are we, position 8. Now, as we come on to the end of the lap, we've caught up with our teammate Ricciardo. Will there be any team orders here from Daniel to not hold me up? As a matter of fact, he peels in on lap 8, so that's a bit of an early stop. That's going to be basically 21 laps on the medium tyres. Not on the mediums, on the hards. The tyre regulations this year, guys. Jesus. But anyway, we fast forward on to lap 12 now, coming in to get off our medium tyres onto the hards. Decent pit stop from the Renault guys. I believe it was about 2.6, 2.7 seconds, so pretty decent. 2.7, so anyway, there we go. But Lucas Weber has gone by. There goes Daniel Ricciardo, and he's on the soft compound tyres. So both these guys are actually two-stopping. Interesting. I thought they might actually try and stretch it out, but obviously they're not confident they can get the mediums Again, there we go. 2 times in the space of 60 seconds. They're not confident they can get the hard tyres 21 laps to the end of this race. There we go, finally got the English right. But anyway, trying to get a bit of temperature in these medium tyres, and we will now go hunting after Weber and Ricciardo. But as you can see, yellow flag up ahead. One of our 2 rivals has a problem, and it is Daniel Ricciardo. Again, he cannot catch a break at his home Grand Prix. Danny Kvyat is out of the race as well. Ricciardo is out of the race. Weber got massively held up behind Ricciardo. He didn't pull out for some weird reason. He really should have saved himself a lot of time. But anyway, no smoke out of the back of the Renault engine, so maybe a gearbox problem or something for Ricciardo. Maybe an electrical gremlin. But anyway, he's out of the Australian Grand Prix. Now we'll go and have a look at Kvyat. And if anything, a exact same problem, no smoke. So yeah, maybe a similar problem for both cars, which would be incredibly odd. But anyway, that has now promoted us into position 7, and oddly enough, we are right in the middle of our 2 F2 rivals. We have old mate Devon Butler right in front of us in the Red Bull, and our old teammate Lucas Weber in the Haas right behind us. Weber, keep in mind, he's on the 2-stop, so he will have to stop again. So, anyways, I believe Devon Butler has actually passed Max Verstappen. Now, as you can see, Verstappen is now the car ahead of us. We've fast forwarded 3-4 laps now on the lap 17. As you can see, we clip the curb a little bit, and we actually have a moment up onto the grass. A little bit of a helter-skelter, hold your breath moment there. That reference did not make sense at all, but anyway, what does when it comes out of my mouth? Anyway, we still survived, didn't hit the wall, no damage, so we got away with one there. We got lucky, but anyway. So far in this race, ever since the pit stops and ever since Ricciardo's problem, which cost Lucas Weber quite a lot of time, things are, yeah, not an awful lot happened from our point of view. For the rest of the race, really, we just cruised home for the remaining 12-13 laps. As you can see, Sergio Perez is the car behind us, but we're going to jump up a little bit further up the road, and this is Max Verstappen and Devon Butler doing battle for P5 and P6. Verstappen trying to go all the way around the outside of his debuting teammate, and I believe he did actually get the move done. And as we fast forward onto the final lap of the race, Verstappen has indeed held off Devon Butler for P5. Lewis Hamilton wins the opening race of the season, but me, frankly, I don't give a crap about that, because we come across the line for P7 here on our debut.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Alright, so there we go. P7 here on our debut. From P15 on the grid, we got driver of the day as well, if I remember correctly. So that's a pretty nice little reward. But anyway, with the first race done and dusted, let's go and talk to Claire.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You and Devon weren't far apart by the end of the race. How evenly matched are you?
Not very evenly matched, if I'm honest. He's in a Red Bull, I'm in a Renault. Those two aren't exactly equal.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yes, we did. 8 to be specific, so pretty good race. I'm happy.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
No, I'm not sure what happened.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, so, thank you very much, Claire. I don't know what to make of that last question, to be honest. I don't recall tapping the wall during the race, but anyway. We lead the rivalry against Daniel Ricciardo. Expected, obviously, considering he retired. Decent haul of resource points coming in, so we'll put those to good use, obviously. 456 to be specific, so we nearly have 1,000 again. So, reputation with the team's going up, so let's go see what Jeff has to say.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
You're not the only driver to be hounded by the press. Emails, like the one I've just sent you, will give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly, as I'll be sure to send you any of the more, let's say, interesting press transcripts that come my way. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Alright, so we have a couple of invitational events and we have a couple of interview transcripts. One from Lucas Faber and one from Devon Butler. So we'll have a read of what they have to say. That was a good race for us. Are you pleased to see them doing well? Typical response I'd expect from Lucas Faber on the Devon Butler. Well, to be brutally honest, I actually don't really care what he has to say. He's a prick of a thing. Can't stand him. So, yeah. Anyway. Let's go to Silverstone for the invitational event.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us today for one of the few events this year that won't have a critical impact on the World Championship. So maybe we can all relax just a little bit more and enjoy the action from this wonderful field of historic cars.
Alright, so we have a checkpoint challenge in the 2008 McLaren here at the British Grand Prix. 32 seconds for the time limit, and past to go we have to beat 7.8, but the ultimate goal is to beat Daniel Ricciardo, who I think set 8.9 kilometres, and man, don't you just love that sound, the old classic cars. I miss the sound of the V8s and whatnot. I certainly don't really miss the V6s or V10s. Isn't V10 what they run now? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think V6s is what a lot of people don't actually miss. I'm not sure. Can someone help me out on that? Let me know down in the comments which is which, because I've confused myself. But anyway, about halfway around this beautiful British layout at the moment. Those words really didn't come out the way I had it planned, but anyway. Onto the back straight now, and let's just listen to this McLaren for a few moments, because man, this thing just sounds so nice. And just up through the gears and on the rev limiter. I really miss these cars, but anyway, as you can see, we've passed the target distance and we've passed Daniel Ricciardo's distance as well of 8.9. I think we ended up with 9.5 or something. What was the final result? I actually wasn't paying much attention there to what it said up the top right corner. What'd we do? 9.75, so we beat Ricciardo by nearly a full kilometre, so pretty happy with that. Reputation's gone up, which is always good. So, yeah, can't complain.
Practice sessions are vital for the continuing development of the car, but if you need to, you can choose to simulate the session instead. It won't be as effective as having you behind the wheel directly, but it's better than missing the session entirely.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching episode 2 of my F1 2019 career mode. If you guys could leave a like, remember to subscribe as always, stay tuned for plenty more. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.